All right, what's going on, guys? We are now live. So this is going to be an extended Q&A. I usually do one Q&A a week that's a little bit shorter than the Friday Q&As, which are longer, just answering questions from the week from other social medias and of course, your guys' questions live too. But yesterday I decided to do an Instagram live stream of a dunk session, which I think it's still up there if you guys want to check it out. It's on my Instagram live stream, Instagram live at LikeMikeBarrins. But yeah, so today I'm going to include like a topical. Something topical to talk about, which is going to be triphasic training, and also going to answer questions from the week. Got a question about what a good jump program is. You know, with these reps and sets, does this look good? Like, does this look like okay to gain strength or improve my vertical? How long have I trained? And also, well, how high do I think I could jump, or what's the highest touch I've ever got with jumping off of 1 foot? So I'm gonna answer all those questions. Gonna get into talking about triphasic training first. And hey, what's up, Peter? What's up, Hillel? What's up, Oliver? Got 3 people in the chat really quick. 6 people on right now. Wow, that's fast. I think it's like the fastest I've ever had 6 people on live. But what's up, everybody in the live stream right now? Appreciate you guys tuning in. So yeah, so I'm gonna start off talking about triphasic training, which is something that was brought to my attention in the last Q&A, and I said I was gonna look more into it. So I did some research on it. It's actually it's pretty interesting. It's a there's not like too much out there in terms of like studies or anything on that specific type of training, but I will start to talk about it right now. And it was actually developed by Cal Dietz. I don't know if you guys have heard of triphasic training. That's kind of like the name that goes along with it. He's written a book with another doctor. There's 2 books right now. Well, actually 1 book that's finished, and then another book that's going to be coming out soon on triphasic training. So I got a lot of the information from looking at those resources, the website, and also there's a PDF, which is like a shorter it's a shorter version of triphasic training. It was like a high school edition that he put out, and I actually linked it in the description of this video if you guys want to check it out. It's just basically a concise version of the book that's like 400 or 500 pages. This is like 150, the PDF file. So if I actually end up doing any type of triphasic training, that's the PDF I'm going to use to kind of develop my training and go off of what's in that article or in the PDF. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, it's in the description. But basically what I got from triphasic training is it's really similar to contrast training, but it's a little bit different in terms of like how you actually block the training. But the whole idea behind it is max power, which is something else I did a whole Q&A on, how max power is better than, you know, doing just pure strength exercises if you want to like increase your explosiveness for vertical jumping. So Peter said, I finally hung on 9.8 today. That's awesome, Peter. Peter's been making a lot of progress with his dunk journey. So check him out if you guys want to see somebody making some progress. But yeah, so basically what I got from it is that it's emphasized a lot of power output, and it's in 3 different blocks. That's why it's called triphasic. So tri meaning 3. So the blocks are there's like a block of eccentric training, which is like the lowering phase, a block of isometric training, which is like the phase where you're not moving at all, and then there's the 3rd phase, which is training the concentric motion, which is like releasing all of that into the actual jump. So those are the 3 blocks. And when I was reading and looking into the article, there was like a chart that I don't know if Cal Dietz was if he was the author, but in this article it showed like a power versus time chart, and it basically showed, and he gave an example of like comparing two people that he trained, and how they had equal strength, like they had equal force output when he was measuring their force output with like a strength or a force plate, but one was able to throw a shot put farther than the other, and he wanted to like find out how that could be possible if they both had like the same max on bench, or if they both seemed equally strong, how could one person throw the same weighted shot put farther than another person? And basically what he found is that one person was able to absorb and release energy faster than the other person. So that's basically like the whole idea with triphasic training is training and learning how to absorb energy better, so that way you release it better. So like with jumping, it'd be learning how to, you know, absorb energy from the ground and then release it into your vertical jump. So that's kind of like the whole seemed like what the whole theory and idea was behind triphasic training, is just learning how to absorb energy in order to release it, like at max potential, or like most optimally. Um, so yeah, so basically, like with those two people he was looking at, the power versus time, one of them had a V that was like this wide, and then the other one had one that was like this wide. So basically, it was like the person with the smaller V was the stronger person because they were able to absorb energy faster and release it faster compared to the other person. So it's just basically being able to produce power in less time. Oliver said, "Who's the smallest dunker you know?" Um, Smallest dunker I know, like personally, Oliver. Like I've seen somebody shorter than me dunk, if that's what you're asking. Probably like he's probably like 5, probably like just like an inch or so shorter than me. He's like 5'6". Yeah, that's like the only person I know like personally. I've seen like videos of people like who like the title's like 5'3" dunker, and like they were dunking, or Porter Mayberry's 5'5". Okay, yeah, so that I know, yeah, like 5'6", like right around my height, pretty much, but a little shorter. I probably know like one or two people like that. But yeah, so anyway, that's pretty much like the idea behind triphasic training. So, like I said, it separates it into 3 blocks, and with those 3 blocks, like this is shown in that article and in the description if you guys want to look at it more. Um, Hillel said there's someone 5'3". Yeah, I actually saw a video on somebody claiming, or like the title was like 5'3" dunker. I mean, he looked really short, so I mean, the video, I guess. Fergardi said, "Do lunges help improve your vertical?" Yeah, I would say. I mean, I would definitely say like any type of leg movement, strength movement, like it's gonna help your vertical in some way. I mean, maybe not like say, directly help your vertical, but it's gonna help you get stronger. And with lunges, I feel like it helps with stability, especially because you're singling out each leg with a lunge, so you're gonna be hitting a different part of your glute compared to if you're doing like a squat movement. So, I mean, that's where I feel like lunges help the most, is with stability and also working different muscles in your glute and hamstring. And Peter said, when are you gonna make an Instagram dunk session again? I'll probably do one this weekend, like Sunday. I'll probably do another one. So I'm gonna be out of town tomorrow, so I'll probably do another one Sunday. And Peter said he does a lot of lunges and they help with his 1 foot jump. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just really helps like single out each leg, especially if you want to, you know, develop a weaker leg, so that way you know that you're actually just only using that leg. But yeah, but just like finished off with the triphasic training. So in the article, it talks about breaking it up into 3 different phases. Like I said, the eccentric, isometric, and concentric training phases. And each one of those phases is like 3 to 4 weeks. So you would train like each block for 3 to 4 weeks, and you might have like a deload week in each of those blocks. Um, and then also like while you're in those phases, like the percentages of the list will change. So like maybe so like they actually broke it down to like, and they actually broke the percentages down into 3 separate phases itself. So there's like the high force, low velocity phase. So high force means you're going to be lifting something heavy. So high force, low velocity, so it's going to be a little slower. That percentage is going to be above 80%. So you're going to be lifting above like 80% of your 1 rep max. Around like 80%. Yeah, 80% and greater. That's what I meant to say. And then the second phase that you work in is high force, high velocity. So doing a little bit less weight, but doing it faster. So that is going to be between 55 and 80% of your max. And then the last phase is peak velocity, which is just the lowest weight, but doing it basically as fast as you possibly can do it, like physically can do it. And that's going to be weight less than 55%. So that's like the 3 phases that you work with the triphasic training. And that whole 3 block phase extends over like 5 to 6 months. So like what I was thinking is, if there's been like the more I read about this, the more I like read into it, and the more I like look at that article I posted in the description, like if I'm maybe like in the last possibly 5 to 6 months of my training to a 50-inch vertical, that working in that triphasic training might be something to like give me that extra boost like towards the end, or like towards the second half of my training, So I'm gonna think more about that and let you guys know what I end up doing. But yeah, I feel like this would be it's just a good way to work. Like you're really singling out each part of the jumping motion. So I feel like that's why it could really help like reach your max potential, or like make each phase of jumping the most optimal, because you're breaking it down to each phase and training that phase only for a certain amount of time, and then moving on to the next phase, then the next phase, and then you put it all together, and then by that point you're at like a very optimal point with whatever training you're doing. So yeah, and then like another kind of breakdown they gave is you have the first phase, which is getting in shape phase, and then the speed strength, and then the strength phase, and then another speed strength, and then highest velocity phase. So yeah, like I said, it's a full 32-week program. They link a full 32-week program, like an Excel sheet that you can also click on in the article I linked in the description. So that's helpful for tracking, if you want to track it on like your computer or print it out or whatever. That's actually linked in the PDF. And it was also talking about how this can be applied to Olympic lifting and paired with French contrast training. So I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to play with triphasic training. That's why I said it's kind of similar to contrast, but it's just a bunch of different things. It's just a cool way of training that you can work in with your other training if you want to, or you could specifically do it with 3 blocks. What's up, Steven? Shout out to Steven Selly in the live stream right now. I'm sure all of you guys know who Steven is. He's been killing it lately. Keep flying, Steven. I know that East Bay on 10 is going to come, like, who knows, maybe it'll come tomorrow. But I know it's going to be coming soon. Looking forward to it. Always fun to watch you dunk. But yeah, so I'm going to answer a few other questions that I got from the week. Somebody asked me just recently, actually yesterday, about like what type of program can they do to keep getting stronger, because they've hit this point where they've kind of plateaued, and they were trying vert shock. Or if you guys have ever been in the live stream or live chat, it's Sea Lion. He said he started doing vert shock, and he hasn't been seeing the improvements that he thought he was going to see with it. And but he still wants to make progress. And I said, don't think it's like too late to keep making progress. So he just kind of gave me this rundown of this program he wanted to start doing. And it was like a 5x6 or 5x5, 5x5 of squats, and then like 3x3 of different other exercises. And then he had lunges, and he also had like depth jumps and other plyo stuff like that. And I said that was a good program to do, especially if he feels like he needs to get his legs stronger before he does like more plyometric work. And I said that's good, that he's recognizing that. And something I wanted to kind of talk about, like branch off of with that, is if you guys feel like you have a specific week, and like just like another side note, like this is why I feel like jumping programs are just a tool, because not everybody's going to be in the same phase of training or the same phase of jumping when they start a jump program. So that's why I feel like there's no one size fits all jump program. It's just kind of, you have to like really look at your training and dictate, where your weaknesses are, and like if maybe incorporating a jump program can help, or if you should take a different step with your training and work more on like strength, like Sea Lion on here has realized. So I said, that's a good program. That's a good program to do, and to start off with, or to start with now, and maybe eventually move into vert shock. And yeah, you're welcome, Steven. Vergardi said, how important is core strength when it comes to jumping? Core strength is, I think it's extremely important. I feel like if you're doing any type of jumping exercises, you're automatically engaging your core. So if you just want to emphasize it even more, I like to do a lot of stuff with like TRX, stuff that like engages your hips, or that involves like quick core contractions. So like TRX bands, stability ball rollouts, just stuff like that, or even like something simple like side planks or planks. Yeah, just stuff like that that really engages your whole core, like posterior chain area. Peter said, I commented on your last vid saying that I was a sub since you were like 100. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, no, Peter. I know, Peter, you've been on here for a while. Peter's been like one of the first ones in my live streams, along with Hillel. So shout out to you guys. And Steven said, good advice, Mike. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. that's what I like to do on here. Just give some advice, give some information about some stuff I've learned, and also get some advice from you guys. I love getting advice and hearing about what you guys have to say about anything I'm saying, because I'm not going to sit here and say everything I'm saying is 100% right. It's just it's just about having conversation. So I got another question, actually, like how long I've strength trained for, and I've actually been not doing any specific jump training for like a long period of my life or anything, but I have been in a gym since I was like 12 or 13. I don't know, I just love going to the gym. I love working out at home. I started like with, I don't know if you guys have heard of like an ab rocket, but that was just like an ab machine. I started off working out at home with those, or just doing like body weight stuff. And then when I got to high school is when I started to get really strict with it. Like I just love being in the weight room, like for basketball and stuff. So probably like freshman year of high school is when I started to get really strict with strength training. And then, but in terms of jump training, it's only been like within the past probably like year and a half to 2 years where I've been like specifically just training for like improving my vertical and getting better at dunking and stuff. So yeah, that's how long that's been. So nothing, not like too crazy, nothing too crazy, or like not too long, but hello, sunglasses. Peter said, "Hey, I'm loyal." Yes, you are. You were in that. Peter was also in the Instagram live stream, the first Instagram live stream I put up of dunk session a couple days ago. But yeah, I'm gonna get to another question here. Oh yeah, I think it was from Dunks for Christ, actually. He's been in here a lot too. He asked me what do I think my highest touch would be with 1 foot, and I actually haven't measured my highest touch with 1 foot. All I know is that it's definitely lower than my 2 foot touch. But going off of like, because I did vent touches with the single leg, if you guys saw in the video, probably my highest touch with 1 foot is probably around like 10, probably like 10.3. 10, yeah, probably like 10.3, nowhere near as high as my 2 foot yet, but I definitely feel like I'm getting stronger and quicker off of 1 foot. Hello said, I'm learning so much from these. You bring up new things every time that I didn't know. Well, that's awesome. Hello. That's what I want to make these about. That's why I love hearing suggestions from you guys. If you guys want me to look into something, or if I see something that that keeps getting brought up somewhere that I feel like is interesting and just gets talked about a lot or thrown around, and I'm like, oh, like what is that? Like I want to learn more about that, or like why is that? I mean, like recently, hello, like in the live stream yesterday, we were talking about, and I was talking about with Steven today, about left right versus right left jumping, and like I never thought to practice left right jumping for some reason. Like for some reason, I've always jumped right left. Like ever since I was learning how to dunk, it was just right left, right left, right left. I don't know why. Even though now, jumping off of one leg, I mean, not just now, but like it's always been, my left leg has always been my stronger leg. So jumping off of 1 foot, I jump off my left leg, but I've always planted right left. And with a lot of like elite dunkers and stuff, I mean, I'm talking like Vince Carter, LeBron James. Like I was looking at them, Derrick Rose, like those guys, like they all jump off their left leg if they were to do a single leg jump. But when they do a two-hand dunk, they go left right, and it just looks like it's faster because I feel like you have less distance to travel with your second leg that touches, if that makes sense. So like if you're gonna go right left and dunk with your right hand, like you have to plant your right foot forward and then swing your left leg, to meet it. Whereas like left right, if you're dunking with your right hand, I feel like it's more of just like almost like a pop and then just up. Like it's just like a double tap and then you're up. Sorry, I was reading Hillel's question. So yeah, I'm just gonna start working more with left right, just to like get better at it. Because when I was playing with it yesterday, doing that dunk session, I felt like I was faster off of left right, but I didn't feel as coordinated as right left. But I feel like if I could get, just practice it more and get more coordinated with it, that left right could have some potential, could help me, potentially get better at dunking. So I mean, none of it hurts. It's good to do it all, as Steven even said to me. So Hillel said, how did you get into triphasic training? Somebody just brought it up in the last Q&A, Hillel. So I just looked into it and never actually, like when I looked into it at first, it looked familiar to me, but like I hadn't read anything about it. So this was like the first time I actually read more, like read deeper into it, I guess. I mean, it was pretty interesting. Like I said, like I've been doing like this contrast type of training most recently, and I really like doing the contrast training because it includes everything. Like you're doing a strength movement, you're doing a power movement, you're doing a plyometric movement. I mean, it incorporates pretty much everything that you would do, with any like vertical jump program or anything. Peter said, "I'm left-footed, and when I jump off both feet, I jump left, right." Yeah, I feel like that's pretty common, Peter. Like I feel like that's more common with people who have a stronger left foot. Like they plant left, right because I feel like it's more natural to have your stronger leg like stabilize you at first when you plant compared to putting your weaker leg first. I guess you could say, but and I feel like it's also good to work both ways because the better you can get with the weaker way, I feel like the stronger you'll get with the strong way. If that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, I just feel like I'm gonna keep working with both and getting better with both, but especially doing more left right and see if that has a difference on like how I'm jumping or dunking. So like I said, it just feels like it's easier to get off the ground doing left right than right left. But as of right now, I feel more powerful jumping right left than left right. So I don't know, just gonna keep playing with it, getting better at both. But yeah, with the triphasic training, I feel like like I said, it might be something that I start to incorporate down the line, like as I'm doing more, uh, as I'm looking for more things to challenge me, because I've never worked with like any type of triphasic training, so I feel like it could help a lot. Hillel said I'm left-handed, right-footed, and I jump left, right. Okay, so okay, hello. So like if you were to jump off of one leg, which leg would you jump off of? Are you saying your right foot? And Peter said, but it feels weird that way. I have to twist my body from left side to right side because I'm right-handed. Peter said, okay, but it feels weird that way because I have to twist my body from left side to right side because I'm right-handed. Yeah, exactly. So like that was like another thing I was talking about with actually my friend that I was training with a couple days ago. He was saying, when you do like there are times that you might have to do right left, like if you're going to try a windmill or if you're purposely trying to like twist your body in the air a certain way, that right left might work. But it just does seem like you have to travel farther when if you're right-handed and you're planting right left, because like the ball is going to be behind you, whereas with left right it's more just like a straight like pop in the air. Hillel said one-legged, I jump right foot. Okay, so Hillel, like have you ever tried, since you're left-handed and your right foot is your strong foot, have you ever tried planting? Wait, let me see what you said. I'm left-footed. Wait, no, sorry, that was Peter. Hello said, where is he? What the? Okay, Hillel said he's left-handed, right-footed, and he jumps left-right. Okay, so with Hillel, I would think it'd be. Have you ever? Okay, yeah. So Hillel, have you ever tried jumping right-left? I don't know if have you guys ever seen like Dexton on Instagram, like that kid who literally seems like he could just jump and dunk on any rim, like no matter what the height is. I don't know. I was just like looking. I mean, it's not just him, but I was just looking, like I was saying, like with like comparing how if you're right-handed and you plant right left, how the ball has to kind of like carry farther and like you have to carry your body farther. Like it just seems like with him especially, and with other like other guys who plant left right and who are right-handed and have a stronger left leg, that you get more power off the ground because you're staying more vertical the whole time, if that makes sense. Like there's no like there's not it doesn't seem like there's as slow as like an eccentric to concentric motion. Like the whole jump is just quicker. Like it just looks faster. Okay, Hillel said, yeah, I've tried right left. It feels quicker, less coordinated like you. Okay, so Hillel, have you like when you jump, have you always like practiced jumping left right then? Like have you just always practiced the other way? Because like I'm just thinking like even though it feels less coordinated, that doesn't mean that it could potentially help me jump higher, like help you jump higher. If it's quicker already than your right left, then I feel like that in itself shows that it could help you jump higher because I feel like that's what jumping is. That's a big part of jumping is like the less time you spend on the ground, the higher you'll be able to get in the air. Peter said, I like the way that Westbrook jumps right, left, and dunks with his right hand. It's so quick and easier because he's right-handed. Yeah, so I mean, like, Peter, so like it might look easier because of like the situations that he dunks in like that. I'm actually gonna bring that up because Russell Westbrook wasn't. I didn't look at like how he dunks, but okay, Hillel said, yeah, he's always dunk left, right. Okay, yeah, so that could be why too. It's just like if you've always been used to jumping one way, like I've always jumped right, left for no reason other than it's just what I always practiced. Russell Westbrook. Peter, I'm looking up Russell Westbrook dunk right now.
What's so great about the
Because I'm just curious, like, to see if he's ever jumped like left, right.
Right on the new iPad Pro, there's basically no lag.
Like in like a situation where he can only have like a couple steps. Like if he jumped left, right instead of right, left. Yeah. So like I think in this one he just. Oh wait, let me see. Yeah, because he jumps off one leg left. He jumps off his left leg. I'll bring it up right here. See, there's a single leg just off left. Gosh, it's so fast. He's literally so fast off the ground. It's incredible. All right, I'm gonna look at that because I don't know if that was flipped on the phone. No, that was right, left. Yeah, so he does seem like he goes more right, left. But like with all of his dunks, like that's why I feel like with all of Russell Westbrook's dunks, that's why he like it looks so like so much more flashy, I guess, because like he has to bring the ball back because he's stepping with his back leg first. Yeah, I feel like that's why like all of his dunks he looks like he has to bring the ball like behind his head. Cuz like he does always step, I mean, in these at least he's been going right left. I think this one might have been. All right, here is a left right one though. Like see how he like didn't have to bring the ball as far behind his head, so it was just like he literally just popped up, like it was just like it just looks like you just walk into the dunk almost compared to his other ones. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I guess something to consider. I guess if you've never jumped off if you've always jumped one way, I guess, play with the other way and see how it feels. Peter said, wait, hello, yeah, I've always jumped right left. Yeah, it's like being left or right-handed, you're used to it. Yeah, that's true. But it's just weird, hello, because it's like you would think you would automatically jump in the way that you'd put your strong leg first because you'd be stabilizing with your strong leg first. That's just why it seems like it would make more sense to plant with, the leg that you're stronger with first. Peter said, yeah, he mostly jumps right left. Yeah, yeah. From those, yeah, it in the first, I don't know, whatever, like 5 or 6, they were all right left except that one was left right. Hello, Westbrook's take off is perfect for in game. Yeah, it really is. It's just so quick and explosive, and he's already like it just looks like when he's taking off, he's already going towards the rim anyway, or before he takes off. Rupin Thur, Mike, how old are you? I am 21. Peter said, "Oh, that was nice. His left right was quicker, but his right left was more flashy." Yeah, his right left is definitely more flashy, but yeah, I mean that left right was just like a pop, like up to the basket. Like it looked like he didn't even need to pause at all. Like that's where I feel like right left. I don't know if it's downside or if it's just like I said, maybe why left right has more potential if you're dunking, or if your left foot's stronger is because there's just like it just seems like right left takes more of a loading phase. Hello said he has no gather step. Are you talking about when he went left right that one time, or just like or just in terms of like having like being a good in game dunker? Peter said he'd rather be right left. Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes down to it, it's like saying, should I be a 2-leg jumper or 1-leg jumper? It's just like developing all aspects of jumping so that way you could jump your best every time, no matter what situation it is. Because I mean, that's what it's like. I mean, with a lot of like elite dunkers or jumpers, I feel like they could jump optimally. It just depends on the situation. Like whatever situation they get put in, like they will jump most optimal for that situation. It's just like being able to do it without thinking about it. I'm just waiting to see. Oh, Peter said I would rather be a 1-foot jumper, but I have Ashkud Slaughters. Peter, what is that? What is Ashkud Slaughters again? Does that have to do with your knee? Ruben said if I'm 5'6", how much vertical do I need? Oh, if you're five, like to just get your first dunk. Hillel said when he drives, he's just running and just sticks a foot in the ground and goes up. No, yeah, that's literally what it just looks like. He pogos off the ground. Hello. But I mean, Chung Zai and like the secrets of athleticism. He did like a whole video. I'm sure you might have seen it on Russell Westbrook and like how he completely changed his running form and everything. Peter said, yeah, it's to do with the knee. So does that keep you like? Do you have less stability in your knee with that? Hello, and I'm gonna look at his dunk again. Peter's hard to explain. Look it up on YouTube. Okay, I will. I'll check it out. Paul said, look at some of the dunks John Wall did in the playoffs this year. All right, I'll bring it up right now. He was somebody else I didn't look at to see like how he jumps. But I think doesn't John Wall dunk with his left hand usually? All right, I just brought up this video. Top 10 dunks of his career. All right, so he goes left, right, but dunks with his left hand. Okay, yeah, he is left-handed. Okay, but he jumps off his right foot. Gosh, it's weird. Okay, wait, there he jumped off his left leg though. Okay, in this dunk, he went off his left. He went off single leg off his left leg and dunked with his right hand. So it seems like he's left-handed, but his left leg is his strong leg. Yeah, I'll show you guys this video. Let's see what this dunk is. That looks like it might be flipped. Let me see. I think on the screen it looked like, yeah, it looked like right left, but on the video it's left. He went left right. Let's see. Cac Vogel, what's up? He said, hi, Russell can do everything. I'm a 1 foot jumper. But when I jump 2 feet, I usually go left, right. Yeah, so like Cac Vogel, that's what we're kind of talking about. How if your left foot is your stronger one, which it would be because if you jump off 1 foot off your left foot, then it would be your stronger one. That it would make more sense to go left, right because you're planting your strong leg first. Peter said, yeah, he's left-handed. Omari, hey man, what do you think about vert shock? Love your work. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've never tried vert shock. I've seen a couple workouts of it, I think, and it seems like it's a lot of it's like more plyometric work than strength work if I remember right. I mean, I think it's good if I feel like it's good to incorporate. It'd be good to incorporate vert shock if you've been if you feel like you've already done like strength training, or if you feel like that's like the next phase you need to get into. But like I talked about at the beginning of this live stream, somebody asked me about or somebody was saying that they haven't really seen improvements doing vert shock because they feel like they need to gain more strength in their legs. So I feel like if you're going to start any program, really like assess like where you are in terms of your jumping or your strength or your speed or whatever, and decide from there like what would be the next step to take. Like if taking, if you feel like you need to do more plyometrics, then do that. But I feel like if you really just take a step back with wherever you're at in your training, you can figure out like what the next step is to take, or like what you should be doing to jump higher, get stronger, run faster, or whatever it is that you're training for. Paul said his speed and his bounce is like no other. Westbrook is just more explosive jumper. Yeah, Westbrook is crazy explosive. It really doesn't make sense. I mean, it makes perfect sense, but it's just crazy. What do you guys think of like the whole genetic? I just want to ask you guys a question on this Q&A. What do you guys think of the whole like genetics argument that like if like somebody just gives you the answer like, oh, it's genetics, or it's because of genetics that they can jump like that or run that fast? Like I just don't like, I get that there's like that genetics is there, but I just like don't know if like that argument can apply to saying that somebody can't achieve something because that somebody else can because of genetics, if that makes any sense. Peter said Oscar Slaughters is slowing me down. Peter, I'll look into that, and like we can talk about it more if you'll be in the next Q&A, because I haven't, like I said, I haven't looked into, like I'm not sure what like what Oscar Slaughters consists of. Govin AJ, who are you? Peter said genetics is only with height and a bit of vertical. If you work hard enough, it'll pay off. Yeah, I mean that's just like kind of how I see it, like in a nutshell, I guess. Like if you really, I just feel like, I don't know. In my head, it's like almost too easy to say. It's almost like too easy of like an obstacle or a just like telling yourself you can't do something because of genetics. Like I just feel like it's too easy. It's just like too easy of a way out of not doing something. Oh, sorry, Govin. I just saw Peter's. I mean, like, what do you mean? Who am I? I am Michael Barrins. How paying for volleyball players right hand doing left hands. Wait, for volleyball players, right-handed doing right left allows your shoulder to open up more for a harder hit. Same for left-handed doing left right. Peter said, "Who are you?" I mean, we're all humans. I'm a human. I could say that. That's who I am. I'm a person. How paying for volleyball players right-handed doing. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so that's why I feel like now that you said that, how paying. Like, thanks for bringing that up. That's I feel like that's why. I mean, Peter, this kind of relates to what you were saying about like why it looks more why Westbrook's dunks look better is because I feel like when if you're planting right left then you are bringing your arm back more, like if you were to do like a spike for volleyball. So I feel like that's why those dunks just look harder than a left right would if you're jumping off, if your stronger leg's your left one. So like how Pang said, like when if you're playing volleyball and you're going to spike, you plant right left because you can open up your, like you could swing your arm back more. So I feel like I guess doing right left you get more upper body power maybe. I don't know, maybe that could be an argument. Paul said I started training for specifically strength. I haven't jumped in almost a month. I mean that's not a bad thing, Paul, but it's just like that's why I feel like contrast training is really good training to do if you want to work on both a little bit. But if you feel like you need to do more strength, then stick with strength for a while and then start to incorporate more plyometrics, like the stronger you get. And Hillel said genetics only matters when you get to your full potential. If you don't have a 40-inch vertical, you're nowhere near that. Yeah, that's what I mean, Hillel. Like I feel like, how do I say this? I feel like it's so hard, if not impossible, to reach like max potential in anything. So with that being said, I don't know how anybody can say that genetics is the reason that somebody is faster than somebody else or can jump higher. Like I feel like maybe you just haven't you haven't done the things to reach that potential yet. Whereas like maybe that person who is like has better genetics, maybe they've done things to like work up to it that you haven't done yet, or like their environment or whatever they've done in their life up to that point has kind of benefited them in a way to seem like they have more of an advantage. I don't know. It's just kind of how I think about it. Peter said, but every time Westbrook jumps off one foot, it's with his left foot, so it seems weird that he's right left. Yeah. That's why it does seem weird, Peter. Like I said, like he did that left right dunk and it looked powerful still. Just I feel like there's something about maybe it's not that planting right left looks more flashy or more powerful. It's just the fact that if you're going to dunk with your right hand and you plant right left, that since you're bringing the ball, farther back behind you, then, you're going to have to swing harder to like dunk it. So that's why those dunks just look more flashy, maybe. Paul said, I was doing a lot of triphasic training and such, but it didn't matter because my squat was only around 250 pounds and my deadlift is only 325, so it's definitely weak in the gym. Well, I mean, yeah, then Paul, if you feel like you just need to add more strength and do that and then start to work with different types of training. That's like, a big thing I try to do with my training is just and with like researching stuff is just like trying to find like new ways or like new just like different types of training that I haven't done before, because I want to keep challenging myself and progressing. So if I have, a bunch of different types of training that I can go to and look at for exercises or workouts or whatever, then, I feel like I'll avoid hitting any type of plateau in a sense. And Hillel said, yeah, you're right. So like Hillel, we were talking about the, like the potential, like how it's hard to just kind of say that, like it's hard to just say, this person could jump higher because of genetics if like you yourself haven't worked up to even reaching any sort of potential that you have, that like you might be able to get to, but you just haven't done the things to get there yet. I don't know, that's like tricky. That's like when people ask like how, I feel like it goes along with the same question that people have asked me before, like, oh, how long did it take you to get here? Like I can't say that it's like it took me this long to dunk a basketball. Like it's hard to say like it only took me this amount of time to dunk a basketball, because it has to do with everything I've done before this point, including stuff I'm doing now, to help me get to the point I'm at now. Like there wasn't just one time span where I was like, okay, like I've just trained like this for this many months and that is why I dunked. Like I feel like it has everything to do with what came before. So it's hard to just say like it's hard to just pick out a specific time span and say this is how long it took. Funny name. I'll just put a jerk said hi. Peter 23. Oh, Peter said he switches accounts because he's gonna make a progress video soon. That's awesome. I feel like it's good if any of you are just starting your training. Like it's good to track your progress, so that way you can actually see, if you're hitting a plateau or if you need to, maybe do different types of jumping, or if you've seen that you've been making gains. William Chen, how important is upper body strength in jumping? I feel like it's important. It's as important as any other aspect of jumping is, because the jumping motion, it's a full body like it's about using your body as like a kinetic chain. Like your body is it's one thing. So upper body is not going to be less important than, maybe lower body is like a little more, or maybe it just seems a little more important, but using your body, no, like learning how to use your body as a whole is going to be what's most important. So that's not to say upper body is more important or lower body is more important. It's just learning how to use both is gonna be what's most important. Not use both, use your whole body, not just those two things. Paul said core and lower body help, but I train the upper body because why would you just train your lower body and nothing else? Just Peter said just the core, that's important. Yeah, core and lower back help, but I train the upper body because why should you just train? Yeah, I mean like there's like there are still ways that your upper body is like connected with your lower body, obviously. It's just like I said, I feel like it's better to think about it as you are a single unit. So think about how you can optimize moving in general as a single unit. I feel like it's just like a better way to think about it. And Paul said, I've never bothered lifting heavy until now because I just never cared after high school. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing though, Paul, to like, start now or like start to work more strength stuff in, because I mean, strength seems like it's a little bit easier to gain. If you want a good strength program, Paul, actually that I've done before, look up Easy Strength by Dan John, and that program was really good for strength. I mean, it was probably like one of the better ones, like one of the best ones I've done for gaining strength. I actually got it was recommended to me by Operation Vertical. If you guys have ever seen him on Instagram, but yeah, that was a really good strength program. But yeah, it's never. I just feel like strength comes a little bit easier than maybe speed or explosiveness would. So I just don't feel like it's. I mean, it's never too late to do any of this. I feel like William Chen. So do you bench around the same as you hex bar deadlift, or do you deadlift more weight? I deadlift. I would say I deadlift more, and let's see. Do you bench around the same as hex bar, or do you deadlift? Yeah, I definitely deadlift more. But if you think about it, deadlifting is more of a whole body movement compared to benching is. So I feel like I deadlift more than I bench. Um, like I squat more than I bench too. Like I said, not to say that upper bodies like should have equal strength or anything, because proportionally, I feel like your lower body is just doing more of the work than upper body, but they're still both equally important. Is what I'm trying to say. Peter said I started doing kettlebell swings. They have the same movements when you jump. Yeah, kettlebell swings are really good. I actually do the resistance banded kettlebell swings. If I don't know if you've seen them in any of my videos, but those literally like mimic jumping, like the whole counter movement. Going down with your arms and swinging up. Like it's the whole movement of jumping, just without leaving the ground. So. Paul said kettles are sweet. Yeah, those are really good. They're really like it's a really good full body movement, especially for training for jumping. Thomas said, "How many times in reps for deadlift?" So Thomas, like with any of the lifts I do, I usually don't stick to anything above 5 reps. So maybe like 2 sets of 5 if you want to do that. Or like maybe 3 sets of 3 or something like that. You just want to like for training to jump, like, and for training for like maximal power output, it's better to train with lower reps and better quality and doing it faster than just trying to put a load on the bar, or doing it for like you're doing it like 10 times or something. And Peter said, "Yeah, I've seen them in your videos." That's awesome. I feel like I said that's awesome like 10 times, but it is awesome. And shout out to all of you guys who have been in the chat and who have just been watching, because I feel like this has been like the most engaging chat, conversation, live stream I've ever had. So this is really cool. Like, this is what I want these to be about, like just talking and having conversation and questioning and everything. Paul said, would you advise just doing easy strength and then going back to jumping, or is it something that you can do in between the program? So I mean, with easy strength is a really, from like when I was doing it, it was a really strict strength program. So I found it kind of hard to find a day where I felt like I could just dedicate it to jumping, because I felt like I needed to rest from doing the easy strength workouts. But I mean, I still was able to incorporate jumping and dunking with it. It just, you have to really just kind of gauge how your body feels, and if you need to take a rest day from it, like an extra rest day that might not be incorporated with the actual easy strength program, then take it, so that way you could recover. Sorry, I was like thinking about what I was gonna say. So you can recover and also incorporate more jumping with the workout or with the program. But yeah, I saw really, really good strength gains with doing that program. Thomas, my standing reach is like 7'4". Peter said, what is easy strength and do you have to pay? No, you don't have to pay. You could literally just type in easy strength Dan John in Google and it should come up. It's like it's like it's not like a PDF. It's like a 1 or 2 page article of just like him explaining what it is, and then at the bottom there's like a full workout, like a full routine on like how to follow it. Paul said, I will say since I have increased my strength quite a bit, my balance isn't there, but my standing for is a little higher than it used to be. I'm more powerful. I'm a more powerful jumper, I guess. I mean, yeah, that would make sense because if you're gaining strength, you'll be able to apply more force to the ground. So that might be why it seems like you're a more powerful jumper. But that's also why I feel like it's good to work in different types of training with either along with or shortly after or incorporating it. Like I said, yeah, like incorporating it with it, like incorporating stability stuff like TRX band stuff or single leg lunges or resistance band squats or lunges or something like that, where you have to work more stability and balance. Because if you can put yourself in those situations where you have to really stabilize yourself, then when you go to jump or when you go to do a movement that maybe uses like one leg or um, would involve you being stabilized, that it would be easier because you put yourself in a situation that was a lot harder than that. If that makes sense. Peter said his standing reach is 7 foot, and do I believe white men can't jump? I believe they can jump. I believe anybody can jump. It just takes work. It takes a lot of consistency and like we were talking like hello and I were talking about. It's just about not like putting it aside and saying you can't do it. It's just gonna take a while. And if you feel like you're at a point in your life where you're like, oh, it's and you want to say it's just genetics that like I won't get there, then you'll never get there. So if you want to like unless you start to work towards your potential, then you won't jump, I guess, or you won't get toward or reach the goal, whatever your goal is. Oh, Paul said he meant bounce, not balance. Okay, yeah. So I mean, yeah, if it doesn't seem like your bounce is there, then when you start to incorporate more plyometrics, then maybe you'll start to feel faster. I feel like bounce is more of like a speed thing. So when you start to do more speed training, um, that'll start to come back, or you'll start to feel more bouncy, I guess. William said, "How often do you train?" I train. Really, I really just go off like base it off of like how like my body, like how I feel, but at least like at the very least like every like 4 days a week at the very least, like specific training. But I still like jump or I'll still like do a dunk session or something like that along with it. So I like to have like some like I don't really have a rest day where I just do nothing. Like my rest days are more mobility, um, or I'll do like a sauna session at least or stretching or something. Peter said, "Did I ever see the movie White Men Can't Jump?" I have not seen that movie. Fun fact: I don't watch that many movies. Just random fact. I'd rather be moving than watching a movie. That was lame. No, movies are good, but just don't watch them, I guess. Peter said that's the greatest movie ever. I'll have to watch that one, Peter. Yeah, I'm probably gonna end this live stream soon. How long is it? Okay. Yeah, like I said, this is probably the best live stream I've had in terms of like engagement and everything. So thank all of you guys who have tuned in and been asking questions and talking and everything. It's really cool. Who knows? Maybe I'll just end up doing the Q&As like this. If you like this way better, even though it's a little longer. Um, I feel like the engagement and everything was a lot higher in this. So maybe I'll do them like this. How much kilos do you squat? Um, like for my max, like I haven't maxed out in a while, but I've gotten like a 500-pound box squat. I don't know how many kilos that is. Let's see. So 226.8 kilos. 226.8 would be the max because I got that the box squat was 500 pounds, so that's 228. But like if I were to do just I mean like resistance band squats, like there would be less weight. Yeah, I posted. There's a video. I'm actually, it's funny. It's like the first one that's showing on like my sidebar. But yeah, I posted a video on getting like the 500-pound box squat. But I mean, like my max squat, like normal squat, I recorded that like when I was doing like bodybuilding type of training. That was like a couple of years ago, like before I started doing just jump training. And that was, let me see, 405, just a normal squat. Hello said 500 pounds is crazy. Yeah, it felt like it too. Hello. Like I literally felt it everywhere. Like I felt like there wasn't a muscle in my body that wasn't trying to get that weight up. Paul said I can box squat around 300 or so, but I can't deep squat any more than 230 for yeah. Usually you could box squat for more because you're not moving as far. And I feel like you also get to kind of like reload since you're letting the weight go. But that, I mean, I feel like that helps with moving the weight faster because you have to go from like a dead stop to moving the weight all at one time. Um, yeah, I feel like that's why you usually squat less, like normal squat less than box squat. William Chen, which is better for jumping, front or back squats? I don't think one is better. It just depends on what you're working. So like if you want to work your hips and your hamstrings and your glutes, then normal squats are better. If you want to work more of like your quad and your core and like stability, then I feel like front squats are better for that. I feel like it's good to have a balance though. Like I said, with any type of training, I don't like to think about it as like any one type of training or any one exercise is better than another because it's all working your body. So like, you know, your body is one thing. It's not like just doing back squat or just doing front squat. Like it's, you know, having a balance with both and being strong in both. Paul said is deep squatting overrated? I don't think it's overrated. I think that maybe like the if you're doing it for jumping, then doing it with less weight might be better, so you can move the weight faster. Because I feel like a lot of times with deep squatting, it's like it just looks like a slower movement. So if you were to like if I were to like do normal squats, like deep squats, like you're saying, then I would probably do it in like the way that's like 30% of my max, so that way I could still sit low, but then work on exploding as fast as I can, like out of like the bottom of it. So that way it's still like a quick movement. And I do feel weaker like doing deep squats, so that's like another reason. You know, I would do less weight so that way I could keep the speed while doing the squat. But I don't feel like it's overrated. I feel like you can argue that maybe one way of squatting might be better for jumping, like box squatting, because of like the angle of your knees and your hips and everything. But I don't think it I don't think it's overrated. Hello said, how much do you weigh? I weigh 163. Hello. Peter said, what's the best way to squat for explosion? Well, for explosion, I would say the best way is squatting like however you want to squat, like box squat or normal squat, but with a little bit lighter of a load, so that way you move it fast. Like explosion is all about moving weight faster. So like if you're trying to work like more explosion, um, which is more of like I feel like you're kind of like alluding to more power, then you should do like a little bit less weight to move it fast to be able to move it faster. And Peter said, what's better for vertical glutes or quads? That's funny, Peter. I was actually just watching a video on that because Hillel can attest to Secrets of Athleticism and Chung's Eye. He talks about incorporating your glutes and engaging your glutes a lot. And how, like, if you look at animals that have that could jump high, they usually have huge glutes and smaller quads, or smaller what am I trying to say? Just smaller calf and to foot complex. That makes sense. I mean, look at a kangaroo or a horse or a jaguar. Just looking at those type of animals that can either run fast or jump high. They have really developed glutes. So that's something that Secrets of Athleticism Chung's Eye, if you guys want to check him out, he talks all about it. But it's really interesting. So I don't know if there's one that's better. Hillel said you need both. Yeah, I mean, you definitely need both. So that's why it's hard to say. With like I said, with anything, I feel like it's hard to say one thing is better because your whole body is working as a unit. So you need strong hip flexors too. You need a strong psoas. You need a strong everything if you want to get up to your optimal point. Thomas said, how much do you bench press? I haven't done bench press in a while, actually. I usually do more if I'm going to do any type of chest movement, it's more of explosive or plyo push-ups. But the last time I maxed my bench was, again, when I maxed my squat was 275. That was the highest I recorded for bench. I also weighed more back then too, so like I said, that was when I was doing slower bodybuilding exercises, just doing a single muscle group each day. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions. I think I'm going to end the Q&A here, though. I kind of like this format, so maybe I'll stick to this for another week and see how it is, and then next time I do this, where I do the topical thing with the extended Q&A, because I feel like I kind of got the conversation going a little bit more, so that was cool. But yeah, I just want to thank all you guys for tuning in and for asking your questions and just talking and stuff. It's really cool to get to talk to you guys. But oh, Paul said, what do you think your max squat is now? My normal squat, probably more around 430, 450 maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I'd have to just do it to see what it was, or to see what it is now. Hillel said, look at high level athletes just like animals, big glutes, small quads, and calves. Yeah, that's true, Hillel. I mean, that's why Hillel. I mean, anyone. That's why it's just good to work all these different aspects of training, to work different muscle groups and not to leave one muscle group out. But it's also it's also interesting to look at that, like Hillel just said, high level athletes or other animals or whatever, to see what could be giving them their speed or their quickness or their jumping ability, just looking at all that stuff in other people or other creatures with animals. So I feel like it's just cool to learn from all different aspects and just kind of start to adapt with yourself if you want to if you want to have the same, or if you want to have a better jumping ability or run faster or whatever. You could just learn a lot from all those different things. And Peter said, yeah, it was a lot better. Thanks, bro, for the answers. It helps a lot. Oh yeah, anytime. I'm glad you liked it better, Peter. And Paul said, unreal. Thanks for the fun, Mike. Anytime, Paul. It's fun doing these. So Harpret said, which exercise increase your jump fast? Which exercise increase your jump fast? I've talked about this before. Like, I don't like to say that there's like one exercise to increase your jump fast. If you want like a couple, like doing loaded, I guess squats and depth jumps would be two, or just trying to touch something you haven't reached yet, just to keep working with that to kind of like reiterate the movement and tell your body like push yourself to touch something you can't. So that way you like maybe subconsciously you want like you're telling yourself you want to get stronger to reach that point, so you'll start to do other things to continue to get stronger so you actually touch that point. um so yeah, I mean, I don't really have like one exercise to say that it's just going to increase your vertical like in a month compared to any other exercise, but I mean, maybe like I said, maybe squats because of the muscles that it engages, or depth jumps for a plyo exercise. And Peter said, be patient with your workouts. It won't happen in a day. It will take hard work, time, and effort. Yes, Peter, that is true. That's why it's like there is no one exercise. There is no set time frame. It's just all consistency and continuing the process and the journey, and not putting a limit on yourself, like saying, I'm just gonna hit this point and that be it, or I'll never hit that point and then quit. So all right, guys. So I think I'm gonna end it here. But thank you guys again for tuning in. I'll do this. I'll do this again. Definitely next Friday. Pick a new topic and do more research into it and kind of start it off like this again. Um, but yeah, stay tuned for those for the live streams on Instagram. Now that I found that 9697 hoop, I could practice. It's like I feel like it's really good to practice my dribble dunks and stuff on, because it's like a perfect. It's like a low rim height, but it's also high enough where I have to still like push myself to get there or to dunk on. So gonna do more of those on my Instagram. It's at LikeMikeBarrins um if you guys haven't seen that page or anything. But yeah, that's gonna end this Q&A. Thank you guys again for tuning in and asking all your questions and talking and engaging and all that. It's good stuff. But yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peter said, yeah, Mike, do more Instagram live streams. I will, Peter. Thank you for that suggestion. All right, see you guys.